Hi everyone, welcome to Dividends, the show for and about your College of Business at Mississippi State University. We have a couple of guests today. We're going to learn about Mississippi State University's new Makerspace. But first, we're going to talk to Dr. Mike Highfield, who's the department head for Finance and Economics. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Glad to be here.
Give us an overview of all the things that fall under your purview, because you have quite a bit.
We do. We have a lot going on in the Department of Finance and Economics. A lot of people tend to think that it's just really finance and economics, but I like to think of us as a fire department. We have finance, insurance, real estate, and economics all together. We have a lot of faculty doing a lot of different things in that regard, and I'd like to share a little bit about that with you today if you have a little time.
Absolutely, and start wherever you like. It's a lot to tackle.
Well, we do. Underneath the finance discipline, I think we're the only only department in the College of Business that has a lot of different subfields in that major. So we have finance, insurance, and real estate. And then also on the econ side, we also offer a business economics degree at the undergraduate level, and we also offer a arts and sciences economics degree at the undergraduate level. So we have a little bit of variety there that we can offer students that I think kind of makes us unique and sets us apart from some other areas within the college and from our counterparts at other schools. We also offer 2 PhD degrees, one in applied economics, and we also offer the PhD in business administration with an emphasis in finance.
All right, so with all that's going on, how do you keep it relevant with the changes that are happening out there in the related industries?
No, that's true. There's been a lot of changes, particularly in the finance industry over the past couple of years. But I think that really taking it back, what we really think about with economics is really a cerebral discipline, if you will. It teaches you how to think. It teaches you how to apply what we call business intuition and business logic to decisions. So I always tell students that econ is really trying to teach you how to understand the decisions you're making and why people make the decisions that they do in their everyday lives or in their business sense.
So it's quantitative and qualitative.
That's correct.
There are the hard numbers and formulas and ways to do things, but also there are some external things that are more qualitative.
That's right. And then on the finance side, we sort of tackle that quantitative nature a little bit. I always explain to students that finance is really the combination of economics, accounting, and statistics. We're taking accounting information, using economic intuition, and then leveraging that with statistics and mathematics to make a decision. And so in that regard, a lot of our faculty that we bring into the classroom are actually people who are doing this on a daily basis outside. Former CEOs of banks teach our bank management class. We also have people who are every day writing insurance policies, teaching our life and health classes.
So you find that combination of the classroom and the real world experience is a real benefit to the students, obviously.
Absolutely. It makes a difference. Not only are they learning what the textbooks say, they're learning how it works in everyday life and the practical applications that are going on for people to make their lives better. On top of that, they're also adding the networking skill, because then they can go and say, hey, look, I've had Lewis Mallory for my bank management class. I've learned from a guy who has, worked with Ben Bernanke at the Federal Reserve. And that's kind of one of those things that you really don't get in a whole lot of other areas across campus or even within other universities.
Well, another program that you're known for is the insurance program. Absolutely. And there have been some new changes there.
Absolutely. We're really pleased this year to welcome a new director of the risk management and insurance program. His name is Seth Pounds. He's actually a graduate of our program. Did his undergraduate degree at Mississippi State, so he's come back home to Starkville. But he's actually also an attorney, had been working for a little while up in Boonville, and has come back here and is taking leadership of this program along with Assistant Director Martha Galloway. We do a great insurance program every year called Insurance Day, which takes place in the spring. We welcome about 600 insurance professionals to campus for 2 days of continuing
600.
education. Absolutely. It's the largest one of its kind, not only in the state, but also in the South.
I've seen the insurance commissioner there as well. Mike Cheney has been to several of those.
Absolutely. Insurance commissioner comes. We also bring in insurance commissioners from the state of Tennessee, Louisiana, Arkansas, sometimes Alabama. So this is an event that really draws on people from not only regulation, but also everyday walks of life and companies. And then also our students get the exposure to work with these individuals on a daily basis.
And how many students are we talking about within your department?
We have about 300 finance majors and about 100 econ majors on the business side. And then once you add in our PhD students and then the minors and so forth, we're educating about 3,000 students a semester in the areas of finance, insurance, and real estate, with about 500 of those being majors in one of those areas.
Do you get feedback on why they chose Mississippi State and the College of Business? Do the students tell you that? Do you ask them that?
We do. I think one of the big things of why people choose Mississippi State University is that you get all the benefits of a large college with what is still a small college feel. I know my good students. I know most of my students by name and have the opportunity to interact with them on a daily basis. And whenever those job opportunities come up, I'm not necessarily looking for someone else that I don't know. I can end up naming off right off the top of my head, who the good students are and who is going to be a good candidate for your job.
And what does the future look like? I know it's always changing, but we have a distance program that's become very robust, but I don't know if that extends over to economics and finance.
We offer a few classes via distance education. In addition to supplementing the distance MBA program, we offer a finance and econ course for those. But we also offer a few undergraduate courses at the distance level. The main area where we offer distance courses, though, interestingly, is in the insurance area. Our insurance distance courses are quite popular, and we actually have a lot of people take those courses, not only for college credit, but also for continuing education for their licensing.
Fantastic. Anything else you want to touch on with the
Well, I just really want to compliment our faculty. We've, over the past several years, done a great job of recruiting some new faculty, and those folks have just made a world of difference in our department altogether. We have some people who are winning national awards. We have individuals who are winning the university's top teaching award, and we just have a really successful group of faculty right now.
So quickly, how do you sell Mississippi State? I mean, if you're attracting that caliber of faculty, there are all those misconceptions about Mississippi. How are you able to get them here?
Well, I think that what we do is we put on we roll out the red carpet to people who we're recruiting. We tell them that we want them here. And I think that at a lot of universities, people end up as professors going to different schools and interviewing, but they don't really get courted. And I think that our faculty do a good job of identifying the candidates that we want and going out and aggressively recruiting them.
Well, we appreciate the work you do and your staff, and we appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
We'll be right back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned.
The Entrepreneurship Center exists to give innovators here at Mississippi State an edge. Our goal is to provide startups with the resources and support they need to reach the marketplace and ultimately achieve success.
Success for us was growing our company from 2 founders to 8 employees.
Success for me was turning my personal lifestyle into a corporate partnership.
Success for us is turning academic research into applied engineering solutions.
Success for me was turning my passion into a profitable opportunity.
The success of our entrepreneurs is a team effort. It takes a strong support infrastructure of people to encourage innovation and explore new ventures. We need business leaders to mentor and guide these visionaries through the practical challenges and do everything we can to give them a shot at real success.
Welcome back to Dividends, everyone. Joining me now is Bryan Patton. He's a grad student, and he also works at our Entrepreneurship Center. He's not a graduate student in the College of Business, however. He's an engineering student, but he is very, very closely knit with the College of Business and the Entrepreneurship Center, and he's responsible for the university's Makerspace. And Bryan, thanks for being here.
Sure, thanks for having me.
For folks who don't know what a Makerspace is, how would you describe it?
So a Makerspace is a place where you can go and find the tools you need to make things. So, a lot of times if you want to work on a personal project, you don't have all the pieces you may need at home, so it's great to have somewhere where all of those are made available to you.
And I can see where this obviously has a nice fit with engineering, but what's the connection with the College of Business?
So, many of our startups, they have an idea that needs a product. They have the need to prototype something that they can show to investors, or even just to play around with an idea to see how it would work. The Makerspace is a place where you can go and work on that. So as far as the business goes, having a place available and then the engineers working in that place to kind of network with gives you a lot of benefits that you may not have any other way.
And who has access to the space? Is it for students, for faculty, for the general public? How does that work?
Well, that's kind of the novel idea behind it. So it's a space in engineering, partially sponsored by the College of Business. It's available to students, staff, and faculty. So anyone affiliated with Mississippi State University can go in there and use the tools.
Okay. And Do you need a membership? Do you need to get special permission? How does it work? How do you actually gain access and get in?
So gaining access, you just pay a membership fee. It's $40 a semester for faculty, staff, and students. You go through a little bit kind of a training orientation, and then there are leaders there that are supervising to make sure that if you don't know how to use a tool, they can show you.
Okay, so you can get some technical assistance. Someone like me who's, my wife says I'm not allowed to handle power tools. I could go over there and get some assistance.
Exactly, and we could teach you to handle those power tools and be more handy at home.
Well, the nice thing about having you as a guest is we can do show and tell. And you've actually brought some items from the Makerspace, and let's talk about them if we could.
So we have a lot of different items, but we can't bring them all over here. You know, for big prototyping, we have power tools. We've got band saws for cutting wood. We have a mill and lathe for forming and shaping metal. But we also keep a lot of tools in so that you have something to tinker around with while you're still learning. So this is actually a Lego set that you can that we have purchased, and we have in there. You can program this device to wander around the room, to find walls, avoid the walls, and it gives you a little bit of an edge over starting from scratch.
So you just have, I guess, thousands or hundreds of pieces of Legos, different shapes and sizes, and you're only limited by your imagination and what you create.
Right now we have, I think, about 1,200 pieces, so it's not a huge set for the experience. 1,200's
pretty big.
But no, we're pretty happy with it. But yeah, it's just a nice toy that, as a college student, you can take a lot of advantage of.
All right, and we have some smaller items here.
So this right here is our Arduino Mega. So this is Arduino Mega. So it is the larger of the Arduino prototyping boards. So this device actually allows you to automate things. So for instance, if you wanted to program all the lights in your house to control them with your iPhone or with your laptop, you could use this to do that. If you wanted to, well, really anything. If you wanted to make a bunch of LEDs light up on your shirt in the shape of a Mississippi State logo, you could use this for that too. It's really a prototyping board that allows someone with limited experience with electrical engineering to dive in. There are high school students that use these to make projects, and we've actually used them to prototype things that we've demonstrated in the Entrepreneurship Center to investors. So really it's the type of tool that allows you to be innovative without having to be an expert or have 4 years experience.
That's fascinating. And something else that's fascinating is the 3D printer.
Yes.
And you might have to explain that concept as well.
All right, so in manufacturing you have additive and subtractive techniques. Generally, most people are familiar with subtractive techniques, like using a saw to cut away material or to make something smaller. Additive manufacturing is the process of adding material until you end up with the shape you want, and a lot of times it's a lot cheaper. So this is actually a brake rotor from Formula SAE's car that they send to competition every year. They were just throwing a mock-up together, and we printed one off, and as you can see, it's a scale model, but it is highly, highly detailed. It's ABS plastic, and we've actually had a lot of entrepreneurs use our 3D printer to develop models for their projects.
So how do you program it so that it spits this out?
Well, you just use software on your computer. It's another thing that we can teach you how to use. You just design the shape that you want, and you literally print it just like you would printing text on a page.
And again, students have access to this.
Students have access to this, and they can use it to print whatever they want. That's kind of the beauty of it. You don't have to be working on research. We actually have a student who's been developing GoPro cases. So you know the GoPro camera.
Right.
He's been making custom cases and attaching the GoPro to it, and we've been able to print those off for him. So we're saving him a great deal of money and having to acquire those himself.
Wow. All right, well, let's go to the big finish here. Explain what this is and what we're going to attempt to do here.
All right, so this is just a robotic arm that we purchased because we're going to actually use the Arduino Mega to automate it so that you can use it just like a robot in a car factory. But it's just a basic little tool that you can use just to kind of play around with motors and get a little more familiar with robotics. But
We have liftoff.
one of the fun things about working in the Makerspace is you have toys available that you can actually
Yeah,
learn
you know,
with.
this
And I
looks
think
like it can be educational and fun, and they don't have to be mutually exclusive.
No, and I think that's our goal, is to make making fun, and that's what the Makerspace is about.
Well, thanks for getting it started, and thanks for coming by and telling us all about it.
Well, thank you for having me.
That's going to do it for this edition of Dividends. We appreciate you being with us, and we'll see you next time.